What's up, guys? It's Boondocks here, and right now I'm going to show you my, well, in all honesty, it's pretty much the same Anarchy build as before. I personally feel like it's a little bit more improved, but that's how it is. So, basically what we're going to do here is go down the best friends forever tree, mostly for survivability, and of course to get close enough. Now, close enough, I didn't realize. I did a little bit of research and figured out how close enough actually works with certain other weapons, specifically the Fibber. And I'll get to that a little bit later, but in order to have Anarchy working properly, you're going to want close enough. Then we're going to take fancy mathematics, just so that way whenever your health goes down, and it will automatically whenever you get a kill thanks to Blood-Soaked Shields, this will make it so that your shield actually will recharge. This is beneficial because if you do take a little proc of damage on your shield and you lose your B, well, assuming your health is already down a little bit, you'll be able to have it recharge back up. Same thing for Unstoppable Force. This way, whenever you get the kill and then take a little bit of damage directly after, you'll still have your shield recharging for you. Plus, you get a massive amount of movement speed. Here, we take Upshot Robot. I mostly use Death Trap as a form of tank for me, even temporary, because he's pretty squishy, because I don't bother switching out shields, which is why I don't even take Sharing is Caring. But I take the other abilities to give him a little bit more tankiness through Potent as a Pony and Made of Sterner stuff. Plus they benefit me, so why not? I take Explosive Clap because when Death Trap will go behind barriers that enemies are using as cover, he'll use this and blow them out into the open, and they're easier to kill. Then I take 20% Cooler, just to be able to get him out more often. Again, I use him mostly as a bullet sponge and don't actually suspect that he'll do any actual damage for me. I take Myelin just to increase my shield capacity and therefore prevent getting Alpha Strike as much. And if you ever get hit by an electric attack, it's going to do pretty much nothing to you. So it's a really good ability to take. As far as Strength of 5 Gorillas, I already get +5 from my class mod, so I put in 1 point just to help boost my Death Trap a little bit, but it's not all that essential. Just like Robot Rampage isn't very essential. However, I take Smaller, Lighter, Faster and Anarchy, obviously because I'm going to rely on Anarchy to do most of my damage for me, and both are required just to move on to the next tier. But Smaller, Lighter, Faster can actually help because when you reduce your magazine size and your reload speed, you can increase the amount of Anarchy stacks you gain quite considerably. Anarchy, if you don't know, increases your gun damage at the loss of accuracy for each stack you have. And with this build, I can have up to 400 stacks. There are other ways of boosting it to 600 stacks, but that's a little bit of overkill, in my opinion. Plus, it takes a really long time to get to that. The nice thing about this build is when using certain guns, you totally remove the chance of losing any of that real accuracy or any of the damage from the 600 stacks, even when you shoot a wall. With that being said, that increases your total damage by 1,050. Anyway, Blood-Soaked Shields says that whenever you get a kill, your shield will go up to full. This is really beneficial when using the B, because if you get a kill while your shield's down just a little bit, it'll stay at max, and you can fall right back into killing with the super burstiness of the B. Also, it has the downside of losing a little bit of health, but we're going to counteract that by using transfusion grenades, and it actually helps with fancy mathematics to make sure your shield is up that much longer. Also, if you have a lot of stacks of Anarchy and you can afford to spend some, you can just activate Discord and heal up 3% of your maximum health each second, which isn't too ridiculous, but it will get you there. Also, Discord prevents you from losing all your Anarchy stacks with one accidental reload by increasing your fire rate and accuracy, as well as giving you that health regen. Always take a point in Discord if you're planning on using Anarchy, because otherwise one accidental reload and everything you've been working for is gone. If you do accidentally reload, just fire, reload again, and Discord will get turned off. Typecast Iconoclast is really nice just in order to build up your stacks of Anarchy that much quicker. A 60% chance of gaining an extra stack is pretty decent, so you can quickly build up stacks. Just doing this run, I typically finish about 100 to 150 40. So we'll see. I put another point in an annoyed android. I don't really know why, to be honest. Feel free to move it over to sharing is caring if you want to give him a shield, or throw it in where you want. It's kind of a it's kind of a pointless little extra right there. It's still better than with claws or death from above, though. Rational Anarchist is actually pretty nice. It gives you that quick one burst of anarchy after getting your first kill. If you're starting the game by yourself, if you go back to Sanctuary, shoot at the test dummy and reload, or just shoot at any enemy, waste your entire magazine, you'll instantly gain all 25 of those stacks. So it's pretty nice, just to get a quick extra boost right off the rip. Then the 9th degree. Every 9th bullet that hits a target will ricochet towards another enemy target. Well, this says that every 5th bullet. So it can be pretty helpful, especially when you're spamming bullets. Sorry, I don't know why I'm coughing. And as far as weapons go, we're going to have the Fibber in both fire and corrosive. You might want to even try to find an electric Fibber, just in order to burn down electric targets a little bit easier. And we also take the Twister, again, for electric targets. Then, of course, we're going to have a Norfleet, just in order to get second wins if needed. But you can actually still get second wins pretty easily with the Fibber, and I'll show you why. For the shield, we're going to take the B, as I was saying before, and a homing Slago negative. We're going to use this to both slag enemies, as well as to get health back that we're going to be losing from our Blood-Soaked shields. Then we're going to take the legendary Anarchist class mod. This gives us that increased gun damage, and holy shit, I just dropped it on the ground. As I was saying, this gives us the increased gun damage, as well as all the skill ups that we were looking for before. Then we're going to take a Heart of the Ancients for the pistol damage. This fight for your lifetime and second wind, not all that important, but that pistol damage is much higher than even a Sheriff's Badge. The Sheriff's Badge only gives you increased fire rate as well, but the Fibber has a pretty decent fire rate to begin with, so it's not all that necessary to have the Sheriff's Badge. So I just go for the more raw damage. So here we go. That's the fire rate. It's pretty quick. So if you want to boost it even higher, you can always put points into the better half. But I find it's slightly unnecessary and can kind of be distracting to even worry about it. So the Fibber actually comes in multiple variants. One variant, when you shoot it, it kind of gets thrown out in a parabolic arc, and it's really hard to land hits and so on. Another version instantaneously fires like a spread shot. This version, though, whenever you shoot anything, whether it be an enemy, a wall, or just a box on the floor, the bullets will actually split. Like, let's see if we can see it. You see how if I shoot here, it causes that spread shot that then bounces up? That's 8 different bullets that get shot up. See? 4, 4. 8 bullets that get shot out. Well, the cool thing about the Fibber is that when you do shoot those, the initial bullet that hits will determine whether or not you're going to have it bounce at an enemy thanks to close enough. So it's that bullet that gets reduced by 50%. After it splits, those targets will still follow the same trajectory as the first bullet that bounced off the wall, but have 100% of its damage. So what that means is, if I shoot the ground and the bullet decides to go after an enemy thanks to close enough, I don't get the close enough's negative 50% damage. Instead, I'm doing full damage with the Fibber. The Fibber has pretty decent damage to begin with. I mean, it's lying to you, so don't trust that by any means. But when you combine the Fibber's damage with the B shield, and the fact that you can shoot it from almost anywhere, it can become pretty powerful. Where the fuck are the enemies? That was weird, like, I couldn't even see the enemies. What you might want to do with the Fibber is typically just shoot at a wall, so that way it'll split and chances are go after the enemy for you. It's actually a little bit harder to sometimes get an enemy down if you're shooting directly at them as opposed to bouncing them. Just because you get more shots whenever you bounce, and if you're not bouncing, then you're only hitting them with one hit. Of course, it does have a chance to bounce after them again, but it's less effective, I find. Okay, I should really have had him out. As you can see, I always start off by throwing a grenade, and that makes it so that as I start taking damage from the enemy, I get back my heal. Because it takes a little bit of time for those stupid transfusion grenades to come back and heal you. So I know the enemy's sitting there around the corner, so instead of trying to go out and shoot them, just shoot the wall. It's kind of like cheating. In all honesty, at least that's what I liken it to. As long as you know where the enemies are, you can pretty much kill them just by shooting near them. Yep, it's pretty much cheating. Okay, I think here's an armor target. So that's why I'm going to have my armor piercing or corrosive rounds, whatever you want to call them. I usually forget to call them corrosive rounds, and I usually just call them armor rounds, which I guess doesn't make any goddamn sense at all, but I say it anyway. I was actually trying to record this last night, and I had a whole demonstration between all the different fibbers, and then I threw them on the ground out of disgust, not thinking about the fact that if my recording got messed up or something like that, I'd have to go find the other shitty fibbers again. So, yeah, pretty much I didn't have a good recording because I was so tired, because I was recording it at like 2 in the morning, that it just didn't come out to any type of quality that I liked. And I'm not a great recorder to begin with, so any decrease in quality beyond that, and it's just not worth my time. So I'm not a huge Gaige player, and because of that, I make mistakes and I don't understand all of her qualities and effects. But I did figure out the Fibber is pretty much cheating. Just shoot the floor. And the nice thing too is, unlike bee-hawking, the Fibber does, even though obviously it doesn't do 2 million damage per shot, at least I don't think it does. Let's see if we can... Yeah, its accuracy is shit, by the way. Okay, right there, I hit that thing and I said it did like 500, or yeah, 579,000. That's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's saying that the 579,000 or whatever its base damage is multiplied by the 8 separate bullets that bounces out. The Fibber's a liar. I mean, that's why it's called the fucking Fibber. But I don't know. It does a lot of damage. So unlike the Sandhawk, where if you get hit and your B shield goes down, your B shield, yeah, that's what I think I said, I hope. If your B shield goes down with the Sandhawk, you lose pretty much all your damage. Because the Sandhawk is relatively weak, all things considered, due to the fact that it needs the B shield and the fact that it splits into 7 to do any type of substantial damage. So, yeah, I got a little cocky there. Not a problem. That's why I like my Norfleet. But yeah, the Sandhawk requires you to actually have your B shield up, whereas you can still get kills with the Fibber without the B shield up. What I've noticed though is the Fibber has really good elemental damage, but doesn't have like the extra punch to break through overshields. I call them overshields because I used to play a lot of Halo, like a lot, and yeah. But like right there, if you notice, these guys have shields on, and it just takes so much to get through them. That's why sometimes I like to try to get the electric. Wow. That's why I kind of want the electric Fibber as well, the shock Fibber. I can't believe these guys are killing me. kind of pathetic because I did so well up until here. It's one thing I don't like about Gaige. I feel like she's squishy as all hell, just because you almost need to have yourself getting hurt in order to keep your shields up, and I don't know. She's not my favorite character by far, but I think the Anarchy system is definitely interesting, and the fact that you don't actually have to hit things in order to hit things. She's a unique character in a lot of respects. So I died a couple times, and that's why my Anarchy stacks are only at 94, as opposed to a lot more than 94. Oh, that's cool. I got Death Trap blocking the way there. It's kind of cool. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Hopefully I'll be able to take a screen pic of that real quick. Yeah, Death Trap. So that's her. Hope you guys like the build. Good luck. Have fun. Peace.